What you got to share with it? We got a lot of people on here. Ain't no telling what they thinking. I don't know.
Man, I just want to encourage everybody that's watching this live, this Zoom, because I hopped on a little bit before I enter into the church, and a lot of stuff that you were saying was on target, on key. I really encourage you all to step out a leap of faith. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't, you will regret it. I'm telling you right now. I've been a school owner since July the 1st, 2020. I opened up my school right in the middle of a pandemic. A lot of y'all might see my story, or I'm on YouTube with Chin on this program. But I was skeptical. I kind of saw Chin in 2015 at the end of 2014. Had I jumped into that, then I would already been accredited. So I would encourage you to start it. Like you said, don't try to have a champagne taste with a Coca-Cola budget, because you can drink champagne once you get a credit. You see what I'm saying? You can digress. Now, I didn't have no money when I started. All I had was passion and drive, and I realized that I cannot be a barber my whole life, but I wanted to stay in the field. I always wanted to stay consistent in what I do, and consistent is what brings the money. You see what I'm saying? So I realized that as a barber, can I make the money that I'm seeing these school owners make as me owning a shop? Me personally, I couldn't, because I'm in a small area. My population is only 27,000. There's barbershops all around, and I'm looking at myself like I'm just going to be more in a competitive pool than, there's no schools around here. There's no schools in my area, like within a 52-mile radius. So Chin is an awesome coach. I've been watching his YouTube. I've been watching the testimonials on the sidelines. I've been watching people who was watching just like you're watching right now, and I was that person. But then I saw other people get in the program 3 years later, which I got into it in 2017. I'm in 2020. And when I watched from 2015 to 2019, I saw some of the same people that I was watching, just like you're watching Zoom. They got their school, they got a credit. I even called them and like, hey, what did it take for you to do this? And do you really make money like that? Are you making millions? And they're like, yes, best decision I ever made in my life. It's a cut and paste, long as you follow everything Chin do. And not only that, is work just like any business is work. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna work for a company, or you can work for your own company. Either or is gonna be work. So I'd rather build my empire and my legacy than allow me to build somebody else's and then suffer from it physically, mentally, and spiritually, and then cause ruin. So I'm telling you right now, like I'm in the process of I'm waiting on my candidate visit, my first candidate visit. But again, I found a building. My building I got is 1,200 square feet. The amount of rent that I pay is only $750 a month. My overhead is low. I pay $1,200, maybe $1,500 a month with expenses and everything. I already got my own clientele because I am still a barber, so I still cut hair. So I didn't have no students. I only had one, no, two students who promised that they was gonna do this if I open up a school. Guess what? Those two students don't even attend my school. They're still watching from the sideline. They're still watching everything that I do. I post often. And honestly, I got one student, and my tuition is $7,500. I just upped my tuition. I just enrolled another class just 2 weeks ago. My tuition now is 8,500. And what I do, I make my students do a down payment. They do a down payment of $1,500, because I'm not gonna work with nobody who's not serious. So if you're real serious, put the money up. That way, it lets me know that you're real serious. Then after that, I do a monthly payment plan. So there's ways that you can make it within the 3 years of you by being open without being accredited. And so some of those students are paying monthly, and some of those students are paying weekly. And so I make it where I'm not missing a beat, but I'm still be able to make money. Not only that, when you get into the program, like Chin said, he got free information on YouTube, but you can't get that. You can't get some of these connections and tell you in the program. So I was able to get a contract or my vendor with one of the companies that's in the program. Guess what I did? I used that company to buy my kit, my barber kit, or if you're a cosmetologist or esthetician, you need barber chairs, all of it is all included at a wholesale price. I took that and I began to sell to other shop owners as well as building my kits. That's how I make money. I realized like, okay, this is my budget that what I'm gonna need to sustain myself until I'm able to get accredited. If I run low, I go start going to salons and barber shops, creating packages. You're a school owner. Guess what you can do? Find your niche, find your specialty. You take that specialty and open up a class for that one day. My day is Monday. What I do a workshop on fading, and I do 10 students for $500. If you're a cosmetologist or somebody want brush up or continue education, that's 500 times, times five. You do the math. And then guess what? I include the clipper that I'm cutting it. You know why I do that? I do that so that way it only costs me uh $40 for the clipper wholesale, and then I'll turn around and sell it for $100 along with the actual workshop. So you can do all that. You can use your building as there's barber shows all around. You can use your building running out as a barber show. You see what I'm saying? You got a certain amount of chairs. So there's ways that you can make money while you're waiting. You see what I'm saying? My thing is when you wait, you waste. When you wait, you waste. You don't have time to waste because if you want that lifestyle, that's your dream lifestyle that you want to pay for, because I'm gonna tell you right now, the school is the quickest vehicle for you to get to your destination. Okay, school is the quickest vehicle that you can get to your destination. It's doable. It's not easy. It's work, but guess what? It's easy work because you're investing in yourself. And don't be like how it was in 2015, just watching on the sideline and then wait until 2020. That's 5 years later. I could have been accredited, working on like how Chin said, it takes 2 years and 6 months for you to do your satellite school. I I could have had two schools by now, making millions on top of millions. But guess what? I'm in the program. I'm moving. I'm waiting on my candidate date. They're gonna come to me and they're gonna give me a date anytime now. I'm trying to tell you, do it. The back office has every document. And what you want to do, you want to contact your state board, your rules and regulations, find out what it is. After you find out, my minimum was only one student to open up. And it only cost me $150 for the paperwork. So that was cheap. And then I had to get a surety bond. That was only $200 for the school. So I drew up the blueprint myself. I just did a square box, circle chair here, boom, 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 emailed it in. You don't have to pay no big architect. Just start, submit it. If it's wrong, they'll tell you, "I'll fix this." It don't cost you to do the work. You just need to do it. Contact your local state board and hey, what do I need to do? If it's a building, you know what I mean. Find out what the requirements, and then you got a list. You got a checklist that's right there. It's going to tell you step by step what you need to do for your state board. That once you get that, contact the city. Make sure that you're in compliance with the city and the state, and then Chin has the rest. The rest is in the program. But yeah, I just wanted to drop that on them, Chin.
All right. And you didn't even have your instructor's license.
Oh my gosh, no, I did not have my instructor's license at all. I enrolled my own self in the school, and it's funny that you said that because right now I am the only full-time instructor. Me and my wife is the full-time employees at there. So my overhead is low now. I was paying instructors to come there, but they wasn't doing it like how I needed to be done. And well, they was busy. They was working at other schools. So I hired my own self. I studied. I put the work in, and I became, a credit. I mean, not credit. I came licensed like 8 months later after I opened the school. I was kind of skeptical. I didn't know if it worked, but hey, I'm gonna do it all the way till the end. If it worked, I'm 100% happy. If it don't, I know what I need to do next. I just never let no stop me. No just means next opportunity. That's it. So yes, sir. I enrolled my own self in my own school.
All
I
right.
got my own license, man. It was beautiful. You see what I'm saying? And another thing, how what I just did, like it's spring break over here. You know what I did? I went to my elementary school because I got kids in elementary and I got kids in middle school. And I say, do you mind if I have a flyer to go and do an email blast and send this flyer all throughout your schools? And I want to be able to have every child get a haircut for just $1. All you got to do is just get them in the door. That's it. Get them in the door. And they like, sure, I would love to. Boom. My kids are in sports. You know what I did? I contacted the coach. I said, listen, coach, I appreciate you working with my son. And you know how I want to repay you? I know I'm already paying to get, my son training and in this program. I have a program. My program is a barbering program, and I want all of these football players, all these wrestling athletes, wrestlers. I want them to come to school. I'm gonna come to my barber school and get a free haircut on me for their next match, for their next game. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah. Here's a letter for the parents. Boom. They came in. So you just got to be creative when you're doing this. You have an unlimited supply as a school owner. They'll respect you more. I'm about to listen to this. Listen to this, Chan. I ain't even tell you this. I'm about to go speak at university, a college university, because of what I'm doing in the community as a school owner. It's the diversity inclusion. So I'm speaking at diversity inclusion and a big auditorium, and they want to hear my story on how I opened up a barber college as a black man and the diversity and the trials that I faced. And guess what? They asked me, how much they wanted to send me an invoice. So they asked me how much I charge. I'm like, dang, I ain't really never thought of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, well, 2,500. They said, okay, what email do I send it to? I'm like, dang. You know what I'm saying? Like I should have thought about this, you know what I mean, differently. But you know what though? They didn't do that when I was a barber. That and I was cutting all of the athletes. Never did that as a barber. You see what I'm saying? And then not only that, the director asked me, am I willing to teach barbering inside that university? That's another thing. And then I'm cutting right now every other Monday at a juvenile detention center. $25 a haircut, $25 a head. And I do 10 to 15 heads on a Monday. So there's like, I'm not accredited. My wife hasn't worked since 2015. I'm the breadwinner. I have 6 kids. I gotta make it work. I gotta make it work. I gotta make it happen. You know what I mean? I'm about to move in a week. Do I have like, am I rich? I'm rich in spirit, so it manifests in the flesh. So if I'm not doing anything, you know what I'm saying? Of course, nothing gonna happen. Faith without works is dead. And only thing that a sea is dead when it don't got no life. It needs flowing. If you're not flowing, everything is based on a rhythm. You got to move. Your heartbeat is a rhythm. The way you move is a rhythm. Everything that the world is turned by a rhythm. You got to be able to move. And if you're not moving, anything not moving is dead. So don't die behind that chair, knowing that you can be able to flow with a school. It's not as hard as you think. Trust me. I used to be that type of person that think everything was hard. I used to think everything was hard. I didn't buy a car until I was 31 years old because I thought it was too hard to do. I did everything cash. I used to sell drugs. Everything was cash for me. But when I really had to go to a dealership and buy, I signed my name. I did what they had to do. Then okay, you're done. I'm like, that's it. They're like, oh well, you got to go get insurance. I went to the insurance. I filled out the information for the insurance. Like, okay, you know what I mean? You're free. You're on the road now. I'm like, that's it. It's that easy. You know what I mean? It might seem small to y'all, but I ain't had to do anything. I always paid people to do stuff. But when I had to actually be a man and step up and do what I needed to do, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. It's not hard. Open up a business. I thought it was really hard because they make it hard because they say, oh, they want to minimize you. They want to minimize you. Oh, you can't do this. Who are you to do that? Nobody in your family ever did it. Nobody around you ever did it. You see what I'm saying? No, you never did it. No, you never thought about doing something like that. People will always minimize something that they never attempt to do. People will always minimize and make you feel small on something that they never made even a attempt to do. Think about that. So if obviously you're on the call, you're on this call for a reason because you want better in your life. Don't go backwards. Because you're on here, don't go backwards. You're on here because something inside of you motivates you to click the link, to fill your information in, to go on and to want to pursue it. Now keep on making baby steps. Continue to do what you need to do because it'll I would be a fool if I went backwards. And I'm in the best position. I never made this much money and I'm not even the credit yet. I never had this much influence. You are paying for influence and proximity and position. There's gonna be some places in your life that you would never think that you even will be in because of the steps you made for progress. Now, guess what? Because I'm cutting in a juvenile detention center and they know I'm a school owner in this county, they offered to buy me a building. What if I never started? They said, we don't have, they said, we have influence in this city to be able to, and there's buildings that's just sitting here wasted. You know what I was doing? I was driving by these buildings, looking for these buildings. I'm driving. I got a GPS on my wife. I like, look over there. You see anything? And I'm looking and driving. I'm looking. And guess what? Here it is. I accepted the call to serve and to cut hair at a juvenile detention center. The judge and the district attorney of the area was like, you know what? We have abandoned buildings that just sitting here. You know, you can put your program in there and then do a workshop to help with these juveniles on entrepreneurship. Since you have a school, you can teach them entrepreneurship and life skills. Wow, look at that. And we'll rent out that building. So that way we're giving you this building for free while you're doing your service. This is the way that you got to allow yourself to be positioned. So the first step is you took the first step by getting on this call. The next step is your mind and allow God to align you up with the right people. Accountability. Chin is accountability. So what you got to do is you got to line yourself up in the right people, right? So you can be already had every God. Look, I'm gonna tell you how God works. The Bible said before the foundation of this world, I have already predestined you and already had a plan for you and already got everything lined up. All I need you to do is to align up with the people that I put position in your life. Okay? So don't take don't reject the blessing that God put in your life. Because sometimes, rejection is direction. Sometimes that you can be uh misdirected off of misinformation. But when you got somebody that's giving you information for free like Chin, then you do not want to reject the gift that God has given you because you're looking for a boat. because you're looking for an airplane, because it doesn't look in the way that you thought it was going to look. It never comes the way that you thought it was going to look. God don't. If you want a table, guess what God's going to do? He's not going to give you a table. He's going to give you a tree. Guess what? Not only that, he's not even going to give you a tree. He's going to give you a seed. He's going to give you a seed to plant that, and then you gotta be the one to put it in the right environment. And some of y'all are putting your seed into a barbershop. And there's nothing wrong with a barbershop because I own a barbershop. But it depends on where you want to end at. And I have a course called the GPS curriculum. And what I teach in my GPS curriculum is before you put your destination in, you gotta relocate yourself. Because in a GPS, it says now located. Before you can go anywhere. Yeah, I might want to go to California, but guess what that GPS is going to do? It's going to locate where I'm at before I even can get to California. And then it's going to tell me step by step what I need to do to get to California, even if I get a detour. And so what you need to understand is this right here, that, the fast track of success is finding someone who went there ahead of you and begin to get and follow their footsteps and pay that price. So that way you don't have to pay that price later. You see what I'm saying? If you go to an amusement park, whatever, stuff like that, like here, I think it's Cedar Point. Now I can pay the same price, you know what I mean, and stand in the line like how everybody else is doing, like majority is doing, get in the line, and I wait 2 hours for one ride, or I can pay that extra price by doing the fast track and cut everybody else that's in line and get there. And guess what? I'm going to enjoy everything faster. While some people are still in the line for 2 hours, I done rode five rides, enjoyed food, and about to take me a trip, playing games now. The blueprint works. I'm trying to tell you, this is the fast track. 3 years. The fourth year, you can retire, enjoy. You can be on the beach, hiring somebody, and you can be helicoptering, watching over what I call helicopter patrol car. Helicopter, you watching over all your schools that you didn't have, or you can be in the shop 4 years later talking about, dang, I got to go physical therapy this week. I gotta rob Peter to pay Paul. I had a good week this week. I had a good month, man. Imagine a good year. Imagine making 200, 300K in 1 month. Is it possible? Ask Chin. Chin will tell you.
Yeah, it's possible. My mentor was doing $1 million. I did
My God.
430,000 1 month. I mean, y'all can do the math. The numbers don't lie. We all know that the government pays. Most of us are beauty professionals, so we went to school. Some of y'all went to school and got the GI Bill, military, voc rehab, the other program, or you got the financial aid. So we all know that it's there. You can keep going, Gerard.
Exactly. Now, just by you saying that, let's think about it. I put it like this: you deserve a school. You deserve a school. I'm gonna tell you right now, you deserve a school. I'm gonna tell you that right now because the simple fact that you want better for your life, it lets you know that you deserve a school. Now, I don't know how many people on here that went to college. I didn't go to college. You see what I'm saying? Now, my wife went to college, and she's still paying back her debt. You see what I'm saying? So, like, look at it like this: if around here college is like 40 to 50K a year, some 60K a year, where I'm at, they're paying 40 to 60K a year, and guess what? That's going to that university for one student, 40, 60K a year. You see what I'm saying? Now imagine, you know what I mean, somebody paying you that amount of money. Why not? Why can't it be you? It can be you because people don't say that. Don't have in your mind that people won't pay that amount of money if people are doing that all around the world already. Some people getting scholarships. Some people just kept paying out of pocket. People will, if you know that if you like steak, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna pay for steak. If you like Gucci, you're gonna pay for Gucci. If you like whatever you like, you're gonna pay for what you like. And and look at it as, when I tell my students, or when I'm pitching, I don't say, it's gonna cost you this amount of money to come to my school. No, I don't do that. I say you are investing $8,000 into your own career. You know why? Because that makes it more personable for them, and that they can see themselves. And I build a portfolio for them so that they can see themselves in my school. You know what we just did? We just did a mission statement and their life goals and a game plan. And I asked them, what is it that you want to do? They just did a vision board. And my job is to, my school is called Legacy Barber College. And legacy, I tell them, it's not a cute cliche. It's not, it's not something that I thought of, oh, that'd be a dope name. No, your job and your goal is to leave a legacy. The Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. You can live it twice if you do the right thing. You know what I mean? If you dump yourself and pour into these students, mine is a ministry. I'm gonna tell you what, my school is a ministry, and it gives me more time to invest in people. The highest wealth is in your mind. The highest wealth is your mind. You know what I mean? I done did everything with my hands. Now I'm to the point where I'm using my mind to create dollars, and I'm teaching people how to live their dream out. Now, one person wrote, "Hey, I want to open up a barber college. I want to I want to open up a barber shop. They want a clothing brand. They want to be able to get products. They want to do their own products because they saw me do their own products. They saw me do the thing. You gotta make it visualize to the point where people can see themselves. Forget it. Yeah, you're going to teach them how to cut hair. You're going to teach them all this kind of stuff. Teach them, financial literacy, because that never was taught. You understand what I'm saying? How small can our school be starting off? It depends on your state board. It depends on, actually um, your requirements for the state. Again, my state was a minimum of, I didn't have a minimum. I didn't have a square foot minimum. That's the crazy thing. I know somebody that's in my state. They opened up. Look, this gave me encouragement. They opened up a school in their 3-bedroom apartment. I'm a 3-bedroom house. They opened up a school in 3-bedroom house with 6 students. They use. I'm in the state of Michigan. They use their house as a school, and guess what? They're still making money. So I'm like, man, they just took a 2-bedroom. They got one room as a classroom, another room as the floor, and they got their license. They did it. It's no minimum requirement to be able to do that.
And you talk
So,
about the cost. When
huh?
to the students, I say you was talking about the cost or whatever.
Yeah,
And the question is, I'll never forget one thing Miss Velma shared with me. When I got in the Go program 25 years ago, I asked her how much does it cost? Because we always want to know how much something costs.
yeah.
That lady looked at me in the eye and she said, that's not the question you should be asking. The question you
Mm,
need to ask yourself, if you don't do it, what is it going to cost you?
come on,
And she
come
said, if
on.
you don't do this, you're a convicted felon, you're a black man, you're just going to work in a job for the rest of your life. You'll never achieve what you want to achieve in life. So think about that. By me making that decision, look what it cost me. Not material stuff, but the financial freedom, the time freedom, the physical freedom, but most of all, my mama's still living. She came to me the other day, said, the only reason why I'm still living is because you were able to retire me 20 years ago, and
Mm,
all of my friends are dying and dead. She said, because they've been stressed from bills, they've been worked to death. Stress will kill you. So
come on.
what is it going to cost you if you don't do it? Even with y'all that have schools or getting schools as a student, well, what's it going to cost you if you don't come to school? You're going to work at that factory. You're going to be told what to do. So You can keep going, Gerard, but that just rung a bell.
Man, listen, I tell you, like, Ching, your testimony and your story, when I read your book and I looked at, your story, man, it encouraged me because, like, you know, a typical black man, we already got odds against us already as a black man, for one. For two, we already shot down that. And for three, you was a convicted felon. Like, in my mind, I'm like, man, this guy made millions and he's a school owner. Come on, when you hear I own a school, that's big. That's big. So when you tell your friends and your family, I want to open up a school, that's big because they went to school, elementary all the way up to whatever they went to. That's big. They think that's impossible. But with God, all things are possible. So when you think like that, I put it like this: workers communicate with other workers. Workers communicate with other workers. So you can't tell somebody you can't tell your ideas to somebody with a working mindset as a factory owner, I mean, as somebody who work at a factory or at McDonald's or wherever the case may be. Now, I'm not belittling any area because there's steps in life, period. But if you're a dreamer, want to open up a school, want better for your life, you cannot tell ideas to somebody with a working mindset because all they can think of is I'm gonna work, I'm gonna retire, I'm gonna enjoy my life, and I'm gonna die. They can't think nothing above that. Now, you are a thinker. You got to be around other thinkers. I thank God for Chin because he has a mastermind group with other thinkers, not workers, thinkers. Not only that, we have a private Facebook group where we talk to other school owners. Sometimes we pull off from each other. So some of the questions that y'all asking, we be asking some of the other school owners. Man, what are you doing for your curriculum? Or what are some creative ideas that you're doing to make your class fun? Or what are some tools and different things? Like I help a lot of other school owners with their curriculum on what to do and some ideas and events and different things that they can do to make more money. You see what I'm saying? We all working together. They help me on some stuff, I mean, that I ain't even think about doing. So it's however that you do things and bounce off each other. You know what I mean? And what I always do, I praise, I congratulate everybody because you know why? We're in this together. We're building together. And don't look at the money. Listen, if you look at the money, money ain't nothing but currency. It flows. It's not supposed to stay in your hand. You see what I'm saying? Like I did not have no money. I don't think you understand when I'm saying I don't have no money. Like, like I didn't have no money. Like I'm talking about when I opened up my school, you know how much money I had? I had $0. All I had faith. And I know that's always cliche when people are like, oh man, I just had faith and God was with me and he made a way this and third. Yeah, he did for me. Like literally, you know what I'm saying? I always look at people like, come on. Now, yes, you got faith. Yes, you believe in God, but there was some practical stuff that you had to do. Yeah, you know what my practical stuff that I did? I talked to the landlord. I explained to him. I said, listen, I really want to be able to get this building. Is there a way that you can give me 1 month free because I got to do some renovations? You tell your landlord, whoever it is that you want to lease with, if you want to buy a building, that's even better. But you tell your landlord, like, listen, I got to do renovations. Hey, what if you don't got to do renovations? You always got to do renovations. You gotta put barber chairs in. You gotta put stations up. That's renovations. Okay, so you let them know like, can you give me a month free to allow me to do that and market? You know what they did? They gave me a month free. They gave me a month free. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, you know what I'm saying, that during that month, guess what I did? I did marketing plan. Like all this is in Chin program. How to do funnels and all this kind of stuff. How to do Facebook ads. How to get solicit clients and different things like that. Students. So I ran the ad, right? I ran that ad. I said, if you would join now, registration. Let me backtrack. Registration. So for you to come to my school, if you register, like registration meaning basically you sign your name, your address, and tell me why you want to go to school and you want to register for this school. That doesn't hold your spot. I tell them this don't hold your spot. Your down payment holds your spot. So I might have 10 people register, and and your application fee, which is your registration, is $100. All right, you know what? 10 people do that, that's $1,000. That's my first month rent. And then some people like, you know what? I created demand and the urgency. I'm like, there's no other school around here. There's no other school around here. Guess what? You better do a down payment today because I got 4 other people behind you coming. Oh, what's the down payment? I said $1,500. Okay, I do 1,500 now. I have 4 people do that. My school can hold 8 at a time, but I rotate AM and PM, so 16. So I had 4 people do that. So that was what $6,000, $7,000 right there in one day. I took that, half of it I ordered their school supplies, and the other half I put rent up for 4 months. And guess what? There's 4 more students and I need to do it again. I'm paid up for the year. Now the rest of the stuff that give me a cushion for me to be able to start seeing what my expenses are, how much electricity am I using, what type of products I need on the floor to operate. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So you got to write it down, okay? So you can do it. And that was with no money. So that no money thing, I came from the bottom of bottom, so I had to make money. So I can't really it don't settle with me with the no money thing because I'm a hustler. I make it happen. You feel me, Gene?
Mm-hmm. All right.
Was there some questions? I thought I saw somebody pop.